Yo, you are such a disappointment to younger you. Now, the reason I say that is because think about all the dreams and aspirations you had when you were 5 years old, six, seven, 8, 9, 10 years old, 15 years old. Maybe you're 25, right? So 20 years old, 25 years old, 30 years old, right? Younger you, right? Think about the dreams, the aspirations. You wanted to be an astronaut, you wanted to build the world's tallest building, right? Or you were building a mansion out of Lego bricks, right? Or you were, you know, let's say you were playing a video game and you're like, man, like I can't wait to have that car in real life. I can't wait till one day when I'm living in a house like that, when I'm driving a car like that, right? It's crazy to me that the energy you had as a kid, you let somebody else take it away from you. I actually forgot to put my watch on for this video, so I'm gonna put this on while I'm talking. And you know, you guys need to really dig deep because that inner child is still there, right? It's what drives me, right? The dreams that I had at 13, 14, 15 years old, they drive me, right? Like many people don't know this, but I used to want to be a doctor, right? Because I wanted to know what could get me the most amount of money, right? Like I was always straight A student, even though I only went to college or university for 2 weeks and dropped out. I was a straight A student, right? I had great memory, and I didn't really need to study for tests. I didn't really need to, you know, I didn't need to do that stuff because I could hold in whatever the teacher was saying or whatever I read. I only had to read something once, and I was good to go for the test, the quizzes, whatever, right? But it came to a point where I was getting awards, and the award was, let me see I forget the name of it, but it was basically some of the top students in the school. You would go to get an award for the year or something, right? And what they would make us do is, and now mind you, this is like 11, 12, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, right? So I got the award a few times back to back, and I went to the school, and there was the stage for us to walk on. So it was just a line of all the best students from all the elementary schools in the district, right? And there was 17 elementary schools, so it's a few amount of kids. It's not. I mean, the line wasn't that long. I would say maybe 17, 20 something kids. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm off. But back to the main point. When they gave you your award, gosh, I don't even know where those things are. I got to look for them. But when they gave you the awards, right, you would basically shake the hand of the person giving it to you, and then they would give you the microphone, and then you basically would announce what your dreams were, right? What did you want to be when you grow up, right? That was the big question that you had to answer, and then everybody, yeah, claps, and then you walk off the stage. And I think this might be my second or third time getting the award, and somebody told me they wanted to become a neurosurgeon, right? And at the time I'm like, what is that? What's a neurosurgeon, right? And he told me, oh, it's a brain doctor, right? Like a brain surgeon. And I'm like, huh, okay, what does that do? He's like, oh, it's the highest paid doctor. I'm like, really? Huh. Then that got me thinking, because I think at the time what I used to say, like my answer would always change because I always wanted to be smarter than I always wanted to seem like I'm better than all the other kids. I sound better. I could speak clearly while some of the kids were stuttering. That was me, cocky, right? And that cockiness is still here. But they were smiling and they were saying whatever they wanted, and I was like, huh, okay. There was a time where I said I wanted to be, a doctor. Then I said I wanted to be, I think, I I don't even remember some of the things that I said, but then when I heard him say brain surgeon, it got my mind like, damn, like this is something that I didn't even know existed. So now I start researching, right? And I'm like, what is the highest paid doctors? Like, what do they make? What are the potentials? And then I see, right? And like, damn, okay, then I want to be a neurosurgeon now, right? And now I don't really do the research on how long it's gonna take to become that, right? So now this is middle school, and I'm like 13, 14 years old. This is when I started selling candy, and I'm like, man, it's gonna take how long to become a doctor? How long to become a neurosurgeon? oh my, like I couldn't believe the amount of time I would have to spend, in school just to become a doctor, to eventually make enough money, to eventually retire my parents, right? To eventually buy the houses, and to eventually, and there's no hate to the doctors. It's just, for me, I was like, man, that's an extreme amount of time that, I need to get there faster. There has to be a faster way, right? And younger me, which is why I'm always like, yo, you should always be thankful for younger you, as long as younger you made the right decisions to make you who you are right now, right? So I'm thankful for younger me for doing so much research and doing so much, man, like, what are the best career paths? Okay, how do you make this much money? How do you make this much money? What actually makes you make this much money? Oh, there's business owner, there's entrepreneur, there's doctor, right? There's lawyers and some other stuff, but I didn't read. I just saw business owner, entrepreneur, income potential was unlimited, right? So I was like, unlimited. What exactly does that mean? And I started researching like crazy. And obviously now I'm buying courses. At this point, I spent over like $30,000 on just courses and my own education on business and from other coaches and from other people. So these are the things where I'm just like, this is good. Like, I want to do this. I really want to do this, but I didn't commit, right? I made some money here and there, but I never went all in until I got to, maybe like 19 years old is when I really said, yo, I really need to go all in. And then at 20 years old, I said, okay, I really need to go all in. And then at 21 years old, I said, okay, I really need to go all in. And now I'm 22 and I'm still saying, yo, I really need to go all in. Because it comes to a point where you have to talk to yourself and you got to realize, okay, now I'm chasing a bigger goal. So let me go all in into this bigger goal, right? Because now my goals now, my standards now, not just for myself, but for the things that I want, they're way higher. Why are they higher? Because I understand that I'm not just after the things that 13-year-old me wanted. I want more now, right? What 15-year-old me wanted, I want more now. What 17-year-old me wanted, I want more now. What 19-year-old me wanted, I want even more now, right? I want it to be, it's one of those things that fuels me, right? And I tap into that, right? Like, what would younger me think of me right now, right? Would younger me be smiling at me right now if he saw the things that I was doing now? If he saw the people that I had in my connections now? If he saw the way I could speak to people? If he saw the way I speak to women? If he saw the way I look? If he saw the way I carry myself? If he saw the way I dress? If he saw the way, my physique is? If he saw the way I just do the things that I do now, right? What would younger me say? Would he smile at me? Would he give me a fist bump? Would he hug me? Would he look at me like some kind of superhero? Right? Would he look at me like, man, like, that's really me in the future? That's crazy. Right? The way I'm talking now, I want Duno at 30 years old giving me a fist bump like, damn, good job, bro. You did that shit. Right? It's one of those things where you guys like, it's not easy to explain. Right? But future you right now should be able to look back and give a fist bump to your younger self for all the work he did, fitness, physically, like mentally, all the BS he went through, the breakups, the heartbreaks, whatever. Like, you should be able to look back at younger you and give him a fist bump for that and be like, damn, good job, bro. Like, I can't believe you went through all that, man. You really survived that? That's crazy, right? The reason is because younger you, there's a spark. You right now, there's still a spark from younger you that's like, yo, bro, what are you doing? Where's the things that we said we'd have at this age? Where's the things you said we'd have at, next year? All right, some of you are living the same year over and over and over and over, not realizing you're folding, you're messing up, right? You're going back on your habits, right? You're going back on the skills that that you told yourself you'd be building. You're taking steps backwards. You're not moving forward, right? Because if you're not going forward, right? This is going forward. You're basically dying. Anytime you're stagnant, you're losing momentum. You're losing energy. You're losing pressure. You're losing the dreams are running away from you, right? dig deep. You should be able to dig deep and be ashamed of yourself that you are not where you wanted to be. The dreams you had at 13 years old, at 15 years old, at 18 years old, at 20 years old, the fact that you are nowhere near those goals, and if you're putting in the work right now, obviously, great. Keep doing that because that's necessary. But I'm speaking to mainly those of you right now that had those dreams and goals, but you're not putting in the work. Why? Why aren't you putting in the work? What's keeping you, right? I keep saying this in all the videos. There's an inner battle, an inner bitch inside of you that you need to beat. He keeps telling you to not do that extra workout. He keeps telling you not to run the extra mile. He keeps telling you not to work for 2 to 3 more hours, right? He's telling you not to get up, right? I still fight with him. He still tells me, yo, you don't need to do a video. You don't need to go to the gym today. But what am I going to do? I'm not going to let him win that inner battle. I have to win that battle because I understand what that's going to get me in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years. I understand. I'm willing to do the work, right? A lot of you aren't willing to do the work. A lot of you aren't willing to fight with yourselves to actually get to where you want to be. You need to sit down and ask yourself why, right? Because the hard work you put in today, the time is going to pass anyway, right? So the hard work that you put in today will count, right? So you can either let the time pass and continue to pass and not do anything about it, or you can do something about it, right? You can start to walk outside twice a day, right? You can start to do 50, 100, 200 push-ups a day, right? Maybe you don't have a nice gym near you. Maybe you can't even afford a nice gym. Okay, well, what are you doing at home to stay in shape, right? What are you doing in your neighborhood to make sure that you stay in shape, right? Like, even some of you guys that aren't able to talk to girls, you should be at least interacting with 1 to 2 girls every single day, whether it be on social media, whether it be in real life. And if you see them in real life, it's really easy to just wave and get a conversation started. It's not that difficult, but your inner bitch inside of you keeps telling you that it is that hard. It is impossible. It's just some crazy concept because this guy's able to do it because he has the good looks. Guess what? That guy who you believe has the good looks, he's probably the same way as you, but he wins the inner battle all the time, right? He doesn't let the inner bitch win the battle, right? Looking good, right? Like, think about this. Me right now, right? I think I look good right now, but I know me at 30 is gonna be like, what? What was I doing? What was I wearing? What was that haircut? Right? Because I'm extremely critical of myself, right? Like, everything I do, I rewatch it or I re-listen to it, right? Every performance I've done, I rewatch it, I re-listen to it to make sure that, yo, I know I could have done better. I know I could have hit that note better. I know I could have had more energy. I know I could have been more enthusiastic. I know I could have been this and that and this and that because that's my personality, right? I'm an overthinker as well, but I'm also an action taker, right? I don't just overthink. I also take action, right? Some of you don't overthink, and that's great, right? I think overthinking is a skill and a setback, but only if you know how to truly manage it. So because I'm an overthinker, it makes me cautious, but I'm also a risk taker, right? My risk tolerance isn't like, I'm not afraid to take risks. I'm not afraid to take crazy risks, right? As long as it makes sense, because the overthinking side of me does the calculations, right? And then the courageous side of me that just wants to do things leverages the overthinking and then does the things anyway, right? Even if I'm scared of doing something, I'm gonna go and do it anyway because my overthinking side already thought about all the outcomes. So now my action taker side is just, yo, get that shit done, right? Get going, get moving, get to work, right? So it's one of those things where you guys really, really need to dig deep and search and understand why you're letting younger you down. Right? Because younger you would most likely be ashamed of the things that you're doing right now, right? Of the things that you can't let go of, the habits that you can't let go of, right? Even though you told younger you that you'd achieve these things, you'd have these things, right? You'd be able to do this and this. You'd be able to go here and here. You'd be able to travel. You'd be able to drive a supercar anytime you wanted. You know, you'd have the physique you wanted. But you're not willing to do the work because you're letting that inner bitch inside of you win that battle every single day. Every single hour of the day, you're having a fight with yourself, and you're letting the inner bitch win. Why? What's so hard about doing the work? Some of you are probably just worried about recognition, right? But guess what? no matter how hard you work, people will rarely ever truly see how hard you work. But as long as you're staying consistent, as long as you're putting in the work, as long as you're doing what's necessary, they will see how good you get. They will. They will. That's the whole point of chasing excellence. That's the whole point of aiming to be exceptional at every level. Is so that one day, like, you get the flowers, right? That's what it's all about. The flowers. Man, like, think about all the countless opportunities that you've had to change, but you denied every single one because you let the inner bitch inside of you win that battle. Stop letting that inner bitch win the battle. Like, it's funny saying it, but it's the truth. It's the truth. So play the game. Play the game and win. Play the game to win, because it's a game until you die. Right? It's a game until you die. So make sure you're one of the winners. Make sure you're getting all those experience points. I know it's a short one today, gentlemen. I'll speak with you soon. Hit that sub. Drop your comments down below what you think about this. What are your thoughts? And of course, feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'll speak to you guys soon.